The city was known as a miracle. No crimes, no missing people, no violence. People smiled, worked, slept, and repeated the same routine every day. Lucas had lived there for 6 years. He worked late nights and walked home after midnight. That night, something felt wrong. The streetlights were on. Cars passed quietly, but the street felt empty. Lucas stopped walking. Across the road, his neighbors stood under a lamp. The light was strong, but the man had no shadow. Lucas blinked, rubbed his eyes, looked again. Still no shadow. The man smiled and walked away. The next day, Lucas watched carefully. At the cafe, at the bus stop, at the office. One person, then two, then many. People without shadows. They talked normally. They laughed. They acted human. But something was missing. They never showed emotion in their eyes. When Lucas asked others, they laughed. "Everyone has a shadow," they said. "You're just tired." But Lucas wasn't tired. He started writing names, faces, locations. The list kept growing. One rainy night, Lucas followed a woman without a shadow. She walked fast, never looked back. She turned into a narrow alley. Lucas followed. The streetlight flickered. Her shadow appeared for 1 second. Then it moved on its own. She turned around. Her face looked normal, until it didn't. Her eyes went empty. Her voice became flat. "We replace those who want to disappear," she said. "They invite us." Lucas stepped back. She smiled. "Soon you will understand." Lucas stopped sleeping. He noticed something terrifying. People without shadows slowly stopped remembering things. Names, memories, feelings. They became quiet, calm, empty. The shadows weren't monsters. They were copies, living reflections. When a human lost hope, the shadow stepped forward and the human stepped away. Lucas disappears. One night, Lucas sat in his dark apartment. No lights, no sound. He looked at the wall. His shadow moved. It stood up straight. It looked at him. "You see too much," it said. The next morning, the city woke up normally. People walked to work. Children laughed. Everyone had shadows, except one man walking alone. Lucas. No one noticed him. He had become what he feared. Lucas walked through the city, but no one reacted to him. People passed through him as if he were air. He spoke. No one answered. He screamed. The city stayed silent. Then he noticed something worse. His reflection was still there. Windows showed his face. Mirrors reflected his eyes, but his shadow was gone. The ground beneath him was empty. Lucas understood. He hadn't disappeared. He had been removed. The city behind the city. That night, the city changed. Buildings stretched unnaturally tall. Lights flickered in patterns that felt deliberate. Streets bent where they shouldn't. Lucas realized something terrifying. This wasn't the real city. This was the city shadows used, a copy beneath reality. Here, shadows walked freely. They whispered, they watched, and they were aware of him. Lucas found someone else, a man sitting on a bench, crying. The man looked real. "I didn't want to disappear," the man said. "I was tired, just tired." His shadow stood behind him, listening, waiting. "They said they would help me rest," the man whispered. "They lied." Before Lucas could speak, the shadow stepped forward. The man collapsed, gone. Lucas understood the truth. Shadows don't kill, they erase. How shadows are born. Lucas began observing. Shadows were born from loneliness, depression, guilt, exhaustion. When a human wished to stop existing, the shadow answered. It grew stronger with every replacement. The city was full of tired people. That's why the invasion was silent. Lucas learned the rules. Shadows cannot replace someone who fights to live. They cannot exist without light. They fear memory. People who remember themselves clearly are dangerous. Lucas realized why he could still think. He remembered everything. The Shadow Council. Deep underground, Lucas found them. A hall made of darkness and glass. Tall shadows stood in a circle. They spoke in one voice. "You should have vanished quietly," they said. Lucas shouted back, "I choose to exist." The shadows reacted. For the first time, they stepped back. The shadows attacked, not physically. They showed him memories, failures, regrets, loneliness. They tried to convince him he deserved to disappear. Lucas fell to his knees, but then he remembered something simple. The smell of coffee, a laugh, a sunrise. The light returned. The shadows screamed. The human resistance. Lucas found others like him, few, broken, still human. They hid in places with constant light, hospitals, subway tunnels, old factories. They called themselves the Awake. They believed shadows could be stopped. They tried something impossible. They forced a shadow out. A man screamed as his shadow detached. For a moment, the real human returned, crying, confused, alive. It was possible, but dangerous. The shadow war begins. Shadows noticed. The city darkened. Power outages, blackouts. Night stretched longer. Shadows walked openly now. People felt tired for no reason. The replacement rate increased. Time was running out. Lucas makes a choice. Lucas learned a final truth. Shadows needed him. He was a flaw in their system. As long as he existed, they couldn't fully win. They offered him a deal. "Become one of us," they said, "and we will stop." Lucas refused. Lucas entered the heart of the Shadow City. He stood beneath the largest light source, a false sun. He knew what to do. If he stayed human, the shadows would always chase him. So he did something worse. The living anchor. Lucas didn't become a shadow. He became a boundary, trapped between light and dark, forever awake, forever watching. The shadows screamed as the city cracked. The city returns. Morning came. People woke. Shadows returned. Normal. Police reports said nothing unusual happened, but fewer people felt tired. Fewer felt empty. The invasion slowed. The man in the light. At night, sometimes, people see a man standing under streetlights. He has a shadow, but it doesn't move. They feel watched, protected. The city is safe. For now. The end.